Hi.
In St. John's Gospel in the Holy Bible,
Yes.
Jesus says, no one comes to the Father except by me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And these words, I think there's been a lot of misunderstanding about them,
Yes.
and which has caused a lot of division, rejection, and even for some people, they would abandon the teachings of Jesus because of this
Yes.
statement.
But they would have to say why they would have abandoned.
Yes,
And,
I'd be grateful if you could share
Well,
your understanding of what
okay.
Jesus said.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I totally hear what you're saying, and myself had contemplated it. No, we have to say according to the Gospels as we know them. This is what he said, that no one comes to the Father except through me. You see, it sounds like that's a very tight place. It means that if you think beyond, that's the sense that people would take, or the first reaction would be like, whoa, you have to go through Jesus, or else basically there's no way to the Father, you see, like that. And I feel that the certain, predominantly the Christian culture has used that statement, like this is our, builds a lot upon this statement, that, this is sufficient to prove that Jesus is the only way to God. This is something like this, not like that. And, but earlier, if I can take an example earlier, no? I remember another place where Jesus was speaking to some of the Pharisees and the Sadducees and from the Sanhedrin of his time, which was like the political authority, the Orthodox faiths and so on of the time. No? And they were sort of, there was some friction, some tension felt by the established religious body, that here comes this young man who with such seemingly radical ideas, sort of working miracles, attracting a lot of people. And they were a little sort of like a bit uncomfortable with his message, because he was very unafraid and confronted many things that no one had talked about until then. So in one encounter, he had been talking with some of these people, and he had said, if you knew the truth would set you free. And they retorted and said, we are children of Abraham. You see? Who you think you're talking like? We are children of Abraham. And I say, as though being children of Abraham entitled them to automatic freedom or like this, you see? And then he said, in response to to what they spoke, he said, if you were true children of Abraham, you would have listened to me and accepted what I say to you, because Abraham spoke of me. And this really aroused a lot of reaction from them. They said, what are you saying? Do you know what you're saying? Our father Abraham lived centuries and centuries ago. You're a young man, maybe 33 years old or whatever. How dare you speak like that? Are you saying you are as great as our father Abraham? And he hit straight back, you see, with this statement. He said, to tell you the truth, before Abraham was born, I am. You see? Okay. Now, I have to say this because it's linked to your question. He said, before Abraham was born or even conceived, I am. So obviously, he couldn't mean the body that we know as Jesus, because that was only 33 years old or something. No? What is this I am that he's referring to? You see? Because it is said that also the sense, this I am is said to be also the name of God. I am. And he's saying, before Abraham was born, I am. Let's rewind way back to the time when the children of Israel were being set free from the hold in Egypt, and then Moses was commanded by God. It said like this. It's all linked, so please stay with me a minute. And then Moses was told by God, go and confront the Pharaoh and tell him to set the Israelites free. And Moses was very, very afraid. He says, "What are you saying? I am not on good terms with them at this moment. And, you know, I cannot go in my name. Who should I say sent me?" And God said, "Say, I am sent you." And so much power came into Moses that he could move forward and confront the fear like this. So now it brings it back again now. Jesus' statement, he said, "No one comes to the Father except me." I say, what is meant, no one comes to the Father except through the I am. And I want to say what I mean by this I am, because all sentient beings, certainly all human beings, refer to themselves, and it's through the sense I am. Nobody taught us to say I am. Your parents did not call you I. They called you a name like John or Susan or something like that, depending upon our culture. And yet all of us instinctively, intuitively, spontaneously refer to ourselves as this I am. And so this sense, really, I am, is what Jesus meant. Not just the person of Jesus, but the I am itself. He understood the power of it. Most people don't understand the power or the implication of what it means to say I am. No one comes to the Father except through understanding and being one with God through the I am sense in them. They must know that the I am is not a person, but it is the presence of God or the holy presence. This is what it means by that. And if people understood this, I don't know if they would have even agreed at that time or accepted what he spoke or understood what he said. I feel it was still, it might have been seen to be provocative, but I think it's also, I feel also that it was very dynamic, very, very authoritative, very powerful, very unafraid, and very true also. Because in his understanding, the I am and himself are not different. So he had the right to speak like this. And now, in our own time, myself, I'm also pointing to this I am, that it must be understood, because everyone say I am, but don't really understand. We all take I am to be a person, a personality, or an ego. But it is much more than this.
And in your experience, what is it? Could you share with us what it is in your experience?
I am is consciousness. Okay. You can say I am is consciousness. It is not a person. I am is consciousness. You see? And then it is not enough to say it is consciousness. People say, okay, because we're used to feeling that we learn by simply having an intellectual understanding of something. But then sadhana, or the environment of satsang, helps us to come to a living and direct understanding and experience of that I amness itself, and to rescue it from this universal delusion, actually, that I am is merely a person. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.